I want to raise the question of brain machine interfaces. It seems to me like we're crossing a certain threshold of the relationship between humans and technology when it comes to brain computer interface devices, where the technology is actually within our bodies and within our brains and fundamentally changing the way we subjectively experience the world. What do you think some of the challenges we're going to confront as a species as this technology becomes implemented?
I could imagine it being a slippery slope of tech advances that gets us there rather than an all at once thing. Like imagine you had a sort of earplug that could read your brain waves and could get like a search query out of your brain and then put it into an AI that would then just give the answer through an earplug in your ear, right? Then you would just get used to thinking queries into the earplug. Then suppose after that, suppose you could just get a cochlear implant so you didn't need to have the annoying earplug, right? Like that would be a fairly small step. You're just getting the cochlear implant there, like many deaf people already have, to avoid having to plug the earplug in. But then you would have something where you sort of sub-vocalize a query and you're getting the answer in your mind, right? So then, but once you have that, I mean, then okay, install the 2.0 version, which gives you some cognitive suggestions to help you think faster, right? And there you are, right? So, I mean, I think you could imagine a gradual path there, because then once you have that earplug that you're messaging to with brainwaves, of course, that could be connected to 5G. So then all the kids in middle school are just messaging to each other with power of thought rather than having to type on their phones. So I actually think this could emerge step by step as a natural outgrowth of what we're just doing now with the phones in our hand and headphones in our ears all the time. Like, now this object is pretty small and we hold it on our ear. Next thing it's in the ear. Next thing it's a cochlear implant. Next thing after that, the cochlear implant is putting some tentacles into the brain, and then Bob's your uncle, right? So it may not be clear. I guess you could say you're crossing the line when you have the cochlear implant put in, but then deaf people have already crossed that line and it's fine, right? They're not like rejects and cyborgs. I think it may not be that big, may not be perceived as that big of a deal as it unfolds by the young people who are doing it. It may be perceived as a big deal by the crusty old grandparents who think that, who are still leaving voicemail messages that nobody listens to.